All right. Well, thank you guys for joining the call tonight. You know, all of you guys that show up just um, know that it means a lot, and it shows that you're here to learn and grow, and it's amazing. So there are a few things that I have set on my heart to talk about tonight, and it's all about like taking the next step and going forward and everything. I mean, there's a lot of new faces on here and some faces that have been on here or have been in the business here for a little while, but I think that this will actually help each and every single one of you. But first of all, I would like to start hitting like recognition on some calls and everything too. I know that we don't have a lot of people on, but what I want to start hitting on for recognition is the leadership ladder. And if you guys haven't read about the leadership ladder or watched a video on it, I highly recommend doing that. And the reason why is like, you know, when we first started in this organization and in this business, we went by Success Club points as kind of a, mile marker, like hitting that Success Club and everything. And that was great. But what does that show you other than, you're helping people, which is great. You're bringing in at least 3 new people into the organization, whether you're helping them physically, financially, emotionally, no matter what, you're helping them, and that's great. But the leadership ladder actually breaks down even more. It's showing you as a leader. It's showing how you're building, like it shows your, and I'll talk a little bit about it here quick. After I do recognition, but it shows your weak leg status, like of how much growth it's going. And also each month you get to see your income. And I just found out because I talked to Jeff and I'm like, all right, can we see like, I don't know if you guys have ever checked it out, but I know that you can see your previous month and then what your month is going right now. But I'm like, I want to see from when we started, like, because I know every single month my stuff has been going up. And it's so great and awesome to see that. Because you can go up and down in the leadership ladder status. Like there's no, like you could be a business starter 1 second and then organization leader or whatever it may be. I can't remember exactly how they go, but you can see, and if you're watching it go up every single month, you know that you're doing the steps to be a leader. And that's what it really comes down to. So I highly recommend that you check it out. But so Dennis, last month was a business starter. So, if you guys see him on the team page, recognize him. Amy Peck as well. Both of them fall underneath Crystal, but they were both business starters last month, and this goes by months. Shauna as well, she was a business starter last month. Jarrell was actually a team builder last month. And then we have Ashley, which she's actually new, and I haven't really gotten to meet her yet, but she is underneath Christine and all of Jarrell, and she was a business starter last month. Eddie was also a business starter last month. And let's see here. I'm going to go back. Where was I at? It's pretty sad when I don't know the exact status where I was at. Last month, I was a team leader. So I have a few mile markers to hit that organization leader, and it's not far off from it. So I know that this month I'm still at the team leader. I definitely hit that, but next month I plan on rocking that organizational leader, but we'll see here. So just make sure that if you guys see them on the pages and everything, is recognize them and let them know. So anyways, since I'm looking at this quick, you get to see your commission for the month. Like, that's great. Success Club, it just shows either 5 or 10 if you accomplish that. It shows your rank, and then it shows like how many personally sponsored coaches have at least 1 Success Club point. And then it shows your week volume, which that's a big thing right there because it shows your growth in what you're doing with your team and what your team is actually doing too, right? So that's huge. But okay, so tonight, there's a few things that I wanted to talk about. How many of you guys are really familiar with your online office? Okay. Well, first of all, let me say this. If you guys didn't listen to the video that I posted earlier in the team page about being an entrepreneur and everything, our mission, you guys, is truly set on helping other people achieve their lives, helping people live a healthy, fulfilling life. And we know that with this business that we can do that, but we can't do that alone. And this is where it comes down into building that team. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to get pretty blunt in this video or in this call tonight, because the thing is that I hear people that are like, listen, I really want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do all this stuff. So again, that comes down to that fear. We need to completely let aside the fear and just step up and know, have belief in yourself and in your products that what we're doing is changing lives. And if you feel like you're being salesy in any moment, or if you're like, what if they take a moment to step away from whatever it is that you are doing and remember, okay, why am I doing this? And remember two things here. Remember that you're doing this because you want to help other people change their lives, because you know what it's done for your life, or you know what it's doing to your life, or you know what it's done to someone else's life. Because if you start to feel salesy, it's probably because you want it, because not for the right reasons. So take a second, step aside from what you are doing and tell yourself, I'm in this business, I'm running my own business because number one, I'm going to help people change their lives. That's what I'm set out to do. This is our mission. This is our goal. Next, I'm going to reach out to people and ask them to join, because I can't do this alone. We cannot do this alone. And I know that I said it in a video, but you guys, there was this guy who was in Tony Robbins. You guys know him, right? They were in a Tony Robbins event, and he was like, Tony Robbins was like, hey, stay after or whatever. And after the event, he came up to him and he's like, well, so what'd you think about the event? And he's like, oh, I thought it was good. He's like, all right, well, how you feeling? And then he's like, well, actually, I'm kind of pissed off. And Tony Robbins stepped back and was just like, okay, why? And he's like, well, because you're sitting here making $11 million a year, and I'm sitting here in a Salvation Army jacket because I couldn't afford to go buy an outfit. And I'm just as good as what you are in what you do and what I'm doing, if not better. And he's like, all right, well, let me ask you a question here. He's like, do you think that I put these chairs one by one for this event? He's like, nope. All right, well, do you think that I called each and every single person and invited them to the event? No. Do you think I did the slideshow for this event? No. He's like, all right, listen to this. This is the difference between you and I. You will never, ever, ever be successful alone. Just you. You can't do it. You can run yourself into the ground trying to help as many people as you can, building the business on your own, but you'll never be that successful. That's why it's your goal and your job to bring people into this organization, because to reach the masses that we want to reach in this business, to reach out and truly start ending the trend of obesity without that stinking stupid percentage rate going up, we need to reach out to more people. And we have to show them the reason why we're doing what we're doing, what our mission is, what our goal is. If you have a team, what's your vision? Like, let your team understand and know your vision. I mean, I probably don't talk about my vision as much as I should, but my vision is to change the world. And not just through health and fitness, like spiritually, positive, like all this, like I want world peace. We'll just break it down into that, right? World peace. It's okay. I'll be the next president. Thank you. No, but like that's my goal. That's my mission, because I know the person who I was 4.5 years ago. And let me tell you, she was so negative, so depressed. She felt like no one was there for her. Like life just what was it? It didn't matter. Yeah, I had 3 kids, but you know, what was I doing? Like, I was sitting there wasting my life away. And I know that there's people out there today doing the same thing. They're built around what this world is built around, about how society is built around luxury. Like, you need that next best car, and hey, let's play video games. And okay, I know this is on a bunny trail. I'm not going to call it squirrel, but a bunny trail, because my sister posted a video and it said, you know, I'll have to share it to you guys in the team page, but it was like, world's next generation of kids. And this girl's giving birth to this kid, and the kid comes out, grabs her phone, starts texting on it, this itty bitty baby, I'm not kidding you, and starts taking a selfie with the doctor or whatever. Well, it actually pulled up Google first. It pulled up Google to cut its own umbilical cord to know that. Like, it was hilarious. Like, it was funny. And I was just like, oh my goodness, that is completely true. Hopped off, the doctor like fainted, and then he starts videotaping the doctor laughing. And I'm like, like, you know, it's funny, but then it's like, it's like reality. Like, that's what this society is built on. And as much as technology is great, it's also a hindrance in this world. We don't need to know as much as we do anymore. We don't have to learn as much as we do anymore, because we can go ahead and Google stuff. So with that being said, you guys, people are wasting their life away every single day, and health and being positive, and just this world needs a change. And that's my mission. So first of all, I want to show you guys a few things on your online office. Quickly, just some quick basics and everything. And then I would like to go ahead and talk to you about inviting. And this is kind of going off of the GoPro. So if you do not have that book, or you have not read that, like, I seriously went through this whole thing today. Whole thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Actually, that's kind of a lie. I went through the whole thing other than this end part right here, okay? Pretty much the whole thing, though. Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys here. So there's a few things that to recognize here. Of course, you have your rank on the left side here. You have your upline stuff. You know, watching your volumes, all this stuff is great. I don't really need to hit too much, but there's a few basic things. If you want to know where your websites are, here they are. If you have never ever went in to edit them, there isn't much that you have to do with them, but adding your picture into it and adding a quick description of who you are into that, and making sure that your phone number is there, you would just hit English. And of course, it's going to go slow because I'm on Zoom. But you have your Shakeology website, you have your Ultimate Reset website, and you have your Beachbody website. It will go slow, or maybe it won't even come up. Go, go, gadget, go! That didn't work either. All right, so why it's waiting to come up and everything. So our sales and marketing, this is such a great place here. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it really has amazing stuff. Like if you hit Beachbody Challenge or product training guides, like if you guys have seen our promoter script in the page, where did that come from? This girl came up with little itty bitty things that I grabbed from the product training guides that said, if I could provide you with a 21-day workout that is only 30 minutes a day, that's focused on portion control, whatnot, like all this stuff that I was bringing out was what I saw on the product training guides, okay? So these product training guides, whatever like caught my eye, like it made me think about what people want, you know? Like who wants to work more than 30, like busy parents, who wants to work more than 30 minutes a day, work out 30 minutes a day? Some people don't have time. So of course that's a huge thing to me. I also said, like, if you weren't starving, you know, it's not starving yourself. It's based on portion control and all that stuff. Then like, that's what I wanted to bring out to people. So of course, like I said, this is not letting me go because I'm on Zoom and it likes to go slow now. But if you go to product training guides, you can pull up every single program and you can get tidbits of information. It also gives you different ways that you can like talk on your social media, on Facebook and on YouTube. I'd highly recommend just getting an example from it and everything, and then leading out to what yours is. My business, your preferred placement should be set preferred placement, not automatic, and you get to switch the legs around. So you get to go back and forth. Your downline, I usually go to sponsorship drill down, and so you guys can check that out. Your carryover volume, if you have not set up direct deposit, my EFT management, I highly recommend doing that. Just because who wants to get a check? Who wants to get paid every Thursdays? I do. Again, there's more bits and pieces of information here, but I don't want to go too in depth with it. You have e-cards, which are crazy. Recognition. If you guys go on here, you can find out the top leaders right now of the business. And the reason that that's great is because you can start researching their YouTube and listening and learning from them. News and training. So training, of course, again, it's probably not going to pull up, but what I will tell you is to check out that training, the training section. And if you haven't, then yeah, go do it because there's going to be a lot of great information. Okay, I want to go into some key points here with GoPro. How many of you guys have read GoPro? So, and I've read this book before, and then I pulled it out today. God must have let it on my heart to look at it because I started going through it and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, dude, I've read this book before, but what the heck? Where was this at? Because I swear I never saw that before. So I know a girl, whenever she used to go on vacation, she would take GoPro with her and read it because it's a quick, easy read. And especially if you're anything like me, you highlight and you tab. Why? Because that works. So with inviting, it was talking about like emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. And what I mean by that is like when we're emotionally attaching to the outcome of like, okay, if they're going to join, then you know that I'm going to get this or whatever. Like, don't worry about what happens for the outcome. What you want to be emotional at and where you want to hit at is why they're joining this. What do they want out of it? It's all about them. That's what it's all about. But whether or not they join or not, it's not going to hinder what you're doing in your business and what you're doing in your life. Be yourself. So many people become a different person when they're starting to invite because we do like, you know, we get that flustered moment of like, are they going to think I'm salesy? Do they just think I want a sales? When in all reality, you guys know that you're doing this for the right reasons, right? You know that you're not just out there to get a paycheck. You're not just out there to get a success club point. You're out there reaching out to them because you know what it's going to do for their life. Like seriously, like this is huge, you guys. How many of you guys have had even the slightest bit of change since joining Beachbody, right? Anyone? Everyone? Who's had like a big change? And it doesn't have to be physically, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'll tell you right now, like even some of these new people that have joined, I've heard, oh my goodness, like I have no idea like where I would be at. Like I just don't. Like that and the emotional part, honestly, like the things that people can't see is where it first starts to hit. And that's where you guys have to reach out and let them know what it's done in your life. Like some of us might be like, well, you know, I'm just kind of starting my journey. And especially this is where you guys reach out to people that may, when, you know, how many of you guys hear objections of like, well, you know, I kind of want to get started first on myself. Like, I don't know if I can inspire people because I'm not at my goal yet. You know, I hear that all the time. And I'm like, first of all, I want to go, let me tell you something. I was over 200 pounds when I started coaching. No excuses here. But of course, it's not what I'm going to say. But what I'm going to say is like, hey, I'm going to sympathize with them. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way, but I joined as a coach at 200 pounds, and it really actually kept me accountable. And that's something that Heather talked about too. She's like, the accountability is huge, and it really is. Because if you want to inspire people, you got to be doing it. And that's the same way with the coaching, you guys, too. When you get coaches to join you, if you're not, bringing in new coaches, or you're not talking about customers or praising coaches or doing this stuff, do you think that your coaches are going to do the same thing? Rarely they won't. But of course, what we do in our team, we run the challenge groups together. And then once you build that team, you break off to do your own, or whenever you decide to. But I recommend always having more than one coach to run a challenge group with. But again, these objections that come up and everything, be yourself. Sympathize with them. Just let them know that it's okay. Just focus on being your best self. Sympathize. Bring passion and enthusiasm. Again, once you get any daunting thoughts in your mind, any scary moments, any fear that comes, check yourself over and say, you know what? No, I love what I do. I'm doing something purposeful in this life. I'm changing people's lives. I know that. I've heard from people. How many of you have heard that you've inspired at least one person? All of you better be raising your hand. Thank you. Because you guys have also all inspired me. And I've told you that. And it's not something that I'm going to sit there and lie to you about. No, you have inspired me in many different ways. And that's what it's all about. So get excited about this stuff. When you're getting ready to go on a call, or whether you're getting ready to make a post, pump yourself up. Be like, oh, what was good today? How is everything going? Like, I'm going to pop in some Craig Rochelle, listen to it really quick, and I'm going to go on to inviting people. Or I'm going to go on to meet new people. Because when you're happy, what usually happens? You're excited. You're pumped up. People want to hear from you when you're happy. That goes back to a voicemail. Glenn that I was running the call with, he had a voicemail that was just like, and so what did I do? I was like, Glenn, this is your partner in crime. And are you smiling during this voicemail? Because honestly, it would sound a lot better if you were like smiling when you were talking, because it truly makes a difference in how your voice is sounding. And it does. It makes a difference. And Danny Johnson talks about it all the time. If you guys get on a call, make sure you're smiling, because people will know that you're smiling. If you're talking like this, people are going to know that you're not really smiling. Or, like, okay, this chick had a pretty bad day. Or, what's wrong with her? No, smile. Be excited. Get pumped up. Be happy, because this is huge. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. You guys are changing lives. Wake up to that fact. Seriously. Wake up to that fact. This is what you're set out to do. So God called you here for a reason. Don't sit back. Do something with it. You want to create a 6-figure income? I don't know the Beachbody disclaimer off of hand, but I do know that Beachbody doesn't guarantee your success. It depends on every single individual person. But the potential in this, I've been watching coaches go from building this in 2 years and creating a 6-figure income. I don't know what they do with their income. I don't know how they bring on people, but that's not what I don't care. It's about what I'm doing. I'm building this business and I'm building this organization because I want to reach the most amount of people that I can and change their lives. Because I'm sick of seeing people depressed. I'm sick of seeing people upset. I'm sick of seeing people hurting, struggling, in pain, having nowhere to go. And guess what? I'll bring my spiritual side out to it any day. They can walk away if they don't want to listen to it. And I just know that the more income that I do bring in, the more that I can give. The more things I can do with it. The more opportunity that I have to do. So, have a strong posture. So, don't be insecure about yourself. Let's go into objections, because this is what I started talking about. How many of you guys love objections? Aren't they awesome? Who loves them? Okay, so today I actually had the instance to use this. I was going through this girl was interested in joining the challenge group, okay? And I sent her off, like, what was her goals? And then she gave me her goals, and then I sent her off my story, and then that next part of this is what you get. She's like, right off the bat, she's like, I don't have a lot of income to spend at this time. So do you guys want to hear what I said to her? Anyone? No? Should we just? Okay, awesome. So let me tell you right now. I'm going to pull this up here. So I won't pull it up on your guys' screen, but so I said her name. So this is what she said. I'm really tight on cash, unfortunately, but you're fine for not writing back sooner. I totally understand. Your story is amazing, and maybe one day I can be just like you with weight loss. And I was like, hey, of course I used your name. I'm not going to say it now, but I had the same exact challenge. I didn't have enough money to pay my bills, let alone to start getting healthy and fit. But then I decided that nothing was more important than creating the lifestyle for my kids. And I was also brought up to the fact of coaching and earning an income from it. I realized if I didn't have enough money to pay for my bills now, how was I going to change the future? I was totally tired of being behind and scrambling. I wanted more out of my life, so I had to find a way. And truly, it was the best decision I ever made. Let me ask you 2 questions. If you felt this was a chance for you to take control over your health and financial future, do you think you could find a way to make it happen? Could I walk you through this? I can't even talk tonight. Could I walk you through this and figure out what we would feel is the best option for you, talk about the prices, and give you an idea of what you need to start, and then go from there. Hope you have a blessed day. How does that sound coming back? Did I just say, oh, no big deal. Like, I completely understand. I've been there before. Maybe next month we can do it. Absolutely not. Why? Because I was that girl that didn't have enough money to start. I don't even remember how I specifically started. I don't remember how I scrapped everything up or whatever. Like, we didn't have challenge packs. I had to purchase Shakeology separately. I had to purchase the program separately. We only got 1 point per Shakeology order. We didn't get 2 points. There was no 2-point system. I'm not going to let somebody tell me that income is no, it's not. I do understand situations and circumstances where money is, but where there's a will, there is a way. Where there's a will, there is a way. Get that in your head over and over and over, because I will tell you right now that people may not understand that they do have more money than they do. It's really that whole value of that situation. And bringing in that coaching opportunity, do you think I was crazy to bring in that coaching opportunity when she told me that she didn't have money in the first place? No, because she can earn an income. And now that I've grown as a leader, and now that I've read this book too, I'm really excited because I know what I can do to start people off and to start people on the right way. And I know that mentoring is what's going to happen. So she came back and she's like, we can definitely talk prices and go from there. I'm on blood thinners for life and have factor V. I don't know what that is, so I'd probably have to look that up. But anyways, when objections come, sympathize. Sympathize. And don't start off, well, do you have a cable bill? Do you have a cell phone bill? Because you don't need that crap, right? As much as sometimes we'd like to be like, so I saw you post that picture of that Coach purse that you just purchased. Oh, and by the way, didn't you just talk about how you were out with your husband eating a good meal and then you guys went to a restaurant, or then you went to a movie and stuff? Oh, you guys took your kids to this place too and spent all that money on that. Wait a minute. You smoke, don't you? Like, honestly, like, sometimes we want to be very, very blunt, and sometimes, depending on who it is, I might bring that stuff out, or I've brought that stuff up, but it's after letting them know and sympathizing and stuff, and asking them questions. Because, like, even for me as a smoker before, I felt I wasn't going to get rid of those cigarettes. Like I needed that. Like, that was a need in my life. That was not a luxury item. Like, I'm like, all right, Shakeology and everything, like, that's just too expensive. But here I'm spending $4 a pack on cigarettes. Like, no. But then, thank goodness I didn't see that, because I gave up my cigarettes to start Shakeology. Because for one, I couldn't breathe doing insanity. I literally was huffing and puffing on my inhaler. But for two, I'm like, okay, I got to start something. And if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. So I had to give up cigarettes. That way I could afford it. But again, like, it's a luxury. I don't have cable in my home. Why? Because I don't need it. I have one TV in my home. We do have Netflix. We also have a Blu-ray player, but I do not have cable in my home. Why? Because it's not a need. It's not a need. So this was what was in the GoPro. As you guys heard me say, and again, like, I have it highlighted, I had the exact same challenge. I don't have enough money to pay my bills, let alone start a new business. But when I thought about it, I realized if I didn't have enough money to pay my bills now, how was I going to change that in the future? I was tired of being behind. I was tired of always scrambling. I wanted more out of my life. So what I did, I found a way, and it was the best decision I ever made. Let me ask you something. If you really felt this was a chance for you to take control of your financial future, do you think you could find a way to make it happen? Like, that's huge there. And if you switch it around to you, like, how did you actually feel? And then if you have a situation where an objection comes up, I know what you mean. I have a friend who had the exact same problem. So if you guys have someone that brings up the objection of, I can't be a coach because I'm not at my goal yet. Hello, Ashton Meyer. You guys have a friend that can tell you difference, because anybody and everybody can be a coach. Anybody, and you know what? It doesn't come by what you look like. It comes from your heart. It comes from the passion, and it comes from the love. And we need to remind ourselves that, because I think a lot of people see these top coaches and they're like, oh, they're so perfect or whatever and this and that. And I guarantee you they're the most insecure people. You see models, they're the most insecure people. If you have a heart for giving and a heart for caring and a heart for being there for people and wanting to build relationships with people, you guys are the ones that can make that happen. You can. And that's what you need to tell somebody. The most inspirational people are the people that stick to their word, that have integrity. Like, think about that for a second. Write down the qualities of someone who you are inspired by. Does it matter what they look like? Absolutely not. I could have no teeth. I might not be smiling too much, but I could sit here like this and talk like this, but it wouldn't matter about that, right? If I have a great message to speak to you guys, you might not watch videos of mine, but you might listen to it. I don't know. But just saying, like, it comes from your heart and who you are. So sympathize with them and share a story. And that's where getting to know, especially our team, you guys. Our team has so many great stories and so many different aspects that in learning and knowing other people's stories, you guys can easily bring those out. So they talked about a situation of, I don't know if you guys had the objection of like an MLM or a pyramid scheme or anything like that, but this really brought out in the GoPro of like talking about asking them questions. First of all, if somebody says, is this a pyramid scheme? Well, tell me what you mean by that. Is this an MLM? What do you mean by that? Because first of all, we want to know what they actually mean about it. Maybe they have no idea what a pyramid scheme is. Maybe they have no idea what an MLM is. Like, wait a minute, were you involved in a pyramid scheme? What did you do? Don't jump into a conclusion and don't go straight into, well, this is what a pyramid scheme is and ours. No, ask a question. What do you mean about that? Great leaders ask great questions. Grab the John C. Maxwell book if that's that, or the Audible. And so he gave an example of a guy, and listen to how this goes. And maybe you guys can start thinking about your own conversations, because messages are huge, right? How many of you guys do a lot of things with your messages? Does every single person use their messages for like inviting and talking and building relationships? If so, are you leading with a question every single time you talk? So the guy asked him if it was an MLM, and he's like, well, did you try it out at some point? Like, what happened? And the guy was like, yeah, I joined a company a few years ago, bought some product, and lost my money. So he replied, what do you think was the reason that you didn't have success? Wow, completely a different question, right? It's like, well, my friend talked me into it. I didn't have a lot of time, and I thought more people would join right away, but they didn't. I guess I just lost interest. So he replied, do you think you really gave it a fair shot? And then the guy said, no, not really. And then he replied, do you think network marketing was a problem, or do you think maybe your timing wasn't right? It makes them really think and redirect their situations, because we know that, like for me, someone can't tell me that Beachbody doesn't work. Why? Like, how many of you have had people like, well, I did the program and it didn't work. Oh, really? Did you now? Did you really push play and do it every single day? Did you follow the nutrition guide? Because I can tell you right now that if you had a camera on you 24/7 and you actually went through the product, or you push play every single day and you were following a nutrition guide, and of course making tweaks around with it, because everybody's body is different, I guarantee you're going to have success. So it's asking them those questions of, well, did you truly fully give it everything that you had? So here's a question of, I don't want to bother my friends, or I don't want to sound salesy. You want to go back to that? Well, what makes you think that you'd be bothering your friends? That's a question to ask. If you truly believed in the product, would you tell your friends about it? So let's say you had a 100-pound transformation loss, and you have a friend who needs to lose 100 pounds. Would you tell them about the product? You're not bothering your friends. You're helping them. You're providing them with a gift that we have. You're giving them a service that was placed on your heart to do and to reach out to people. You could be saving a life and you not even know it. If I could show you how we share the product with others without it feeling or sounding like a sales pitch, would that help you? How would people respond back to that? Versus saying, oh, well, we're not salesy or anything. Do you see how questions are huge in redirecting anything and everything that you're talking about? So let's go into this little thing here quick. I love, like, who now is ready to buy this book, like tomorrow, right? So if someone's asking you about, like, okay, well, how much money do you make? Well, some of us, maybe we're not as far as we thought that we would want to be. Maybe we haven't made money yet. So if they're like, well, how much money are you making? Well, if you're making money already, that's a great question. If you're not, your answer depends on how long you've been involved. If you're brand new, you can tell them you're just getting started. If you've been around a while and not making big money yet, you can tell them that you are working this part-time and are really excited about your future. You talk about where you're going, or you talk about how you just got started, or you talk about, you could also say that you're excited about the future with this company because you knew things were going to change or weren't going to change if you didn't do something about it. And now you've made changes in your life. Okay, it's 8:45. Okay. So let's go into, I put a big, huge love on this because it's helping your prospects become customers or distributors. And it's about those great questions again. So the key success in this area is a combination of having good posture and asking good questions. So good posture means how you carry yourself. Really, truly, where is your integrity at? Your words, your actions, and feeling more confident about joining versus your self-doubt. Get rid of that self-doubt. Get rid of that negativity. So it says, instead of asking questions and listening intentionally to the answers, or versus talking, right? How many of you guys can spit out that whole talk thing because we get so excited? I know I've done it. I've done it before. Like, I have to remind myself, Dane Johnson, she's like, duct tape. So guess what? I have sticky notes. And just go like this and just stick it over your mouth and don't talk. Ask them a question and then go from there. So, as professionals, we need, again, to emotionally detach ourselves from the outcome. And so, in other words, what their goals are and everything is what's going to be the impact. So I'm going to go over my notes here quick. So he says, first, I learned that professionals are emotionally detached from the outcome. So in other words, their goal is education and understanding while helping a prospect make a decision that would positively impact their life. So when you are talking to someone, how can this truly impact their life in a positive manner? It's opposite from being needy. Like, you're not trying to just get somebody. You're trying to give somebody something. You're trying to help somebody achieve their goals. Second, they're very assumptive in their approach. They expect the person to join because their belief that the opportunity would benefit from it's strong. Like, you guys believe that the products work, right? So you're like, okay, anybody and everybody's going to join. Like, you're good. Well, that's not always true. So one thing that he learned, he said, it's interesting to learn that people promote themselves just as much as they promote their product or opportunity. So they talk about what they're going to do for the team, right? So instead of just promoting out a product, and when you're talking to someone, you're like, hey, like, do you get me? Like, we're going to do this together. We're going to build a team together. Sorry, I'm like going off into a whole new world, huh? So when you're talking with people, here's some questions that you can write down. You guys got pen and paper handy? Instead of asking people what they thought about this, like, what do you think? Ask people, did this make sense to you? Because when you're leading, like, well, what do you think? They can respond in a negative form. And that's what we're not looking for. We're looking for, did this make sense to you? What did you like best about this? So if you're sharing a video or you're sharing a story or you're giving anything, like, what did you like best about this? Or did this make sense to you? Can you see how this could be a great opportunity for you? Let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning you have a 0 interest and 10 being you're already ready to get started, where are you at? That's a great question to ask, and that's what I use in my promoter script. Because if somebody's telling me even there are 3, that means that there's not a 0% chance that they're still interested some way, somehow, right? Like, get excited and get pumped up and figure out what you can take from their 1 or should I say their 3 into a 10. Maybe they just need a little bit more information. Maybe they need a story. Maybe they need to hear how it can be done. So, question number 1, based on what you've just seen, if you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? So these are for people who you're talking to that are interested in the actual joining as a coach, right? And when I heard these questions, I was like, crap, why have I never ever used any of this? I am so ridiculously need to keep my books in front of me. So if you're talking to someone and they want to grow the business, they want to help a lot of people, then what is it that they would need to earn per month to make this worth their time? What would they need? What would it benefit to them to bring in $400 maybe? Maybe that's all they're looking for. So when you figure that out, so instead of like asking, oh, how would you like to make $10,000 a month or something, which guess what? I've done that before, like people know that. Yeah. Anyways, scratch that off. Don't ask that. But I mean, I don't think I've said $10,000 a month, but anyways, approximately the next question that you ask them is approximately how many hours could you commit to each week to develop this kind of income? So first of all, you're figuring out what would be worth their time, like what's on their heart to make per month. Then how much time can they give to making that per month? Because now you're getting inside their head to check like their calendar and what type of investment are they really ready to make? How many months would you work those kind of hours in order to develop that kind of income? So now you're listening and hearing their commitment level, right? So you're first of all learning their first goal, because once you learn their first goal for their month, you can help direct them. You can give them an idea. Then you're figuring out the hours that they can put into it, and you're figuring how long that they'll stay committed to this. Then, this is a great question. If I could show you how to develop an income of $500 per month, let's say that was their goal, working just 10 hours per week over the course of 3 months, would you be ready to get started? So you're leading into everything that they're saying. Now just make sure that you deliver, right? Of course not, because it's going to be based on their success. But you as a leader are stepping up to show them. So, and then this gets down to my last point of this. And again, check out this book. But these questions are great. Now they're ready to join. How many of you guys know how to help your new distributors get started? So some of you guys that I have only talked to a little bit here, I'm going to use this on you. So you might as well, here, this is the calling part. It was so awesome. You need to set proper expectations with your coaches. And the reason why we do this is because it's going to help them set direction. And it's something that I had the hardest time doing. But then with this mentorship, I'm like, all right, I want to do mentorships with coaches when they get on. Why? Because it's really directing them. I was focusing, hey, what's your goal? All right, this is what we need to do. And it was a completely different aspect than I've done before. So you get to guide them through this. So first thing, this is what this guy did. And this is absolutely genius, okay? So he congratulated them. He got them on the phone. He congratulated them for joining. I'm proud of you for taking charge of your life. From now on, things are going to be different for you and your family. Of course, I get to know my coaches. I like to get to know their goals. I like to get to know what their heart's set on. I like to build relationships with them because I think it's important. I truly, honestly do. And it's not just because it's for the business aspect. It's because I look at you guys as we're going to grow old in Beachbody. We already talked about this in our mentorship. Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about how we were talking about how they need to start making like workout videos that you can do in like a bed, like a hospital bed, because we're going to need something like that, right? They haven't thought about it that far. We're going to need something where you can, like, lift your, all right, in the hospital bed, lift your legs, go, 1, 2, come on, everybody laugh with me. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like they haven't thought about this yet. That could be the next biggest hit for sure. Like hospital bed works out. Here we go. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. Anyways, but no, I really do. I look at this as we're going to grow old together. Like if you guys are truly, honestly passionate and committed into this, I look at this as we're going to grow old together. So we might as well get to know each other really, really well throughout the years, right? So, okay, he set their expectations on this. This is what he said, and I put a big, huge love. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I wrote the word love on there because he said, if you succeed in this business, it's going to be you who creates that success, not me. And if you fail in this business, it's going to be you who creates that failure, not me. You are going to be the difference between success or failure. I'm here to guide you every step of the way, but I can't do it for you. I'm here to work with you, but not for you. That is huge right there. And that does go to show for this organization. And that's why I also said too, is that building the teams, we get to reach out to more masses of people. And if I can show my coaches how to lead, if I can direct them and guide them on how to lead and what to do, I know that they're going to take those same steps, like my mentorships, they can take those same steps that I took with them and do that. I have 100% confident that each of these girls can take coaches and start to mentor them. I have full faith in them. So you're letting them know right away that their success is based on what they do, based on how they build a team, based on how they lead, and not by, you're not going to run this for them. I told my coaches, I say, if you're going to run, I'll run with you. If you're going to walk, I'll walk with you. If you're going to crawl, I'll crawl. If you stop, I'm there. I'm not leaving your side. I am there. But when you decide to look over to me and tell me that you're ready to run, I'll start running with you. But I'm not going to hold your hand and drag you. I cannot do it. I will not do it. I don't have enough time for it. I have time to work with the willing and also time to work with the willing in my challenge group. So just a little side note is to set that expectation. Let them know that we're going to build this business together. That's what he said. Like, we'll do this together, but I'm not doing it for you. My job is to help you become independent so that way when we do get time to talk, it's about how I can help you in your life, like, friendship wise. And of course, you guys, that you can come to your coaches at any time. But if you're asking them how much a challenge pack is, all right. Google is awesome. Your online office will tell you. Those little questions more fluster me. And the reason why is I would rather have you come to me and be like, Ashton, I'm going through a moment right now. Why? Because I know that I have a gift to help people uplift them. So I know that I can inspire people. I know that I can cheer them up. I know that I can bring joy to their hearts. If you talk to me about Google questions, go talk to Google about it. And I'm talking about Dennis. No, I'm really not. Don't, because he'll kill me. He's going to be like, what? Ashton sent you my way? But I would rather be there as a friend, be there as, a second family member, be there to help guide you through that stuff. And of course, directing you as well, like I said, with your social media and stuff like that. But if you're asking me questions that you can look up, search the FAQs, look at your online office first. So, again, my job is to help you become independent and asking them, do you agree with that? So I put a big love on this too. So third, he said, there will certainly be ups and downs as you build your business. There will be good times and bad times. I'll know you're in one of the bad times when you aren't calling me, you aren't showing up for meetings, you aren't on the calls, if I start hearing excuses, that sort of thing. When that happens with you and it happens with everyone, how do you want me to handle that situation? So he's first of all letting them know, like, listen, there is going to be ups and downs. And again, take this and make it how you feel it is. But I tell my coaches, it's hard work. This is hard work. It really is. You're helping people, you're inspiring people to change their lives. People don't like change. They want quick, easy fix results, money, cash, everything, give it to them. That's it. So it is hard work. But what do you want me to do when you're in that funk? And that's why I will constantly tell you guys over and over, and you should let your coaches know, like, I am here for you. If you're having a hard time, come to me. You're not going to annoy me. You're not going to ruin my day. You're going to ruin my day if you don't contact me. And then I hear later down the road, well, I've been in a funk all week. Oh, really? Because I didn't get a text or call from you. Why not? You could have been out of that funk like that. And I truly, honestly believe that I can do that to you. No joke in my mind or heart or whatever it is. If you called me or text me that day, I guarantee you I can pump you out of it like that. You might need me again tomorrow, but I can do the same thing like that tomorrow. So, he's asking them, do you want me to leave you alone? Do you want me to be persistent and remind you why you made this decision in the first place? And then it goes into this whole other thing, and I'm not going to go into this yet, but it's something that you can look in the book, but the game plan of getting them started on a checklist, showing them the online office, like that stuff, getting them the basics on all these things. But I'm not going to go into that because, for one, it's 9:00. Two, I totally pumped your guys' head with so much more information than I wanted to, but I hope it was good information and a good review. For those of you that are just starting, I hope that it was like, oh, wow, some good information. So as far as that goes, the last thing that I want to say is that, again, over and over, you guys aren't in this for the money. You are, but you aren't. You're in this to serve other people, to help people in their struggles and in their life. Once you have that first on your mind, number one, nothing in your mind will take away from you talking to someone else. You're in it to create something for yourself too. And I talked about that in the video. I don't know if I put it on my YouTube. So you have half of this heart here for truly helping other people. And then you have your heart that what this is going to do for you. It's going to bring positivity to you. It's going to personally grow you because I know that you're doing personal development every single day, right? I know that it's going to provide maybe freedom for somebody. I know it's going to provide maybe mamas to stay at home and be with their kids. It's going to provide you from leaving maybe a 9-to-5 job that you absolutely hate and that you're not passionate about, because if you're not passionate about the job, it ain't your calling. You'll know your calling when you're passionate about what you do. So you need both of those halves to create that whole. So remember that reason why you're doing this for other people. And then remember your reason why you're doing this for yourself and your family. And putting those two together, nothing can overcome that. Nothing can take you away from that. Except for yourself. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or comments. Again, that book is huge. It really, really, really is. That book is amazing. It's GoPro. If you're wanting to learn more into the network marketing, Rock Your Network Marketing Business also is a very, very quick. This book is super fast, simple, gives a lot of great tips on different things that you can do, like events and all that stuff too, and just different suggestions as well. So You know, I'll tell you that I mostly stick to books that are faith-filled. Like there's great leader books as well too, but then also the business ones and everything. I mean, no matter what book you grab, I'm going to tell you right now that the principles come from the Bible. Every single book, if you read the Bible, these principles come from the Bible, and it's kind of funny now that I see that. So anyways, any questions, comments? If not, I'm going to let you guys, have an amazing night. Oh, I guess I'll break the news to you guys, and people can wait. And if they listen to this call, this is going to be awesome. So first of all, I have a girl who is going to do a recording for us that we will listen to for the call, but she's strictly doing it for our team. She's very, very faith-filled, and I love her to death. She's a superstar diamond. Lauren Duke, I talked to her about doing a call for us, and she could do one during the day, so I've thought about actually doing one during the day and then recording it. And then anyone that wants to join during the day could join, because she's very busy with her family and everything, and I won't take that away from her. And of course, she's very, hey, I can't do it this time. So if you guys don't know who she is, check her out, because this is huge and amazing that, that she can do that for our team. There's also 2 people from our central regional. And let me see if I have their names really quick. I thought I wrote down names, but it's probably in one of my books here. Okay. You know what? I can't find it right now. Okay, so there's 2 people from our central regional area that are, 4-star diamonds, something like that. Some of them are in the top 100, and I'm talking to them as well about coming on to our team calls. So hopefully you guys can get these pumped up. I'll let you guys know well in advance if they're available and when it's going to happen. That way that you guys can talk to your coaches, or you can even just bring it up to the team, because it is amazing when we can see people on here. So, all right. Well, I'm going to let you guys get to your night. Again, thank you. It really, really means a lot that you guys are on here. And if you have questions, I already told you. You guys know my phone number, right? And if you don't, I bet you can find it on my Beachbody website. So, you guys all have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.